Hello everyone, and you join me from the front seat of my van before we get in to have a look at the Golf, because I am at a complete loss with this car at the moment. It is proving to be a lot more challenging with this conversion than I ever thought it would be. So let's go have a look at where we're at. And today we're just going to be fitting some little bits here and there, but let me explain. 95% of people that watch my channel aren't actually subscribed, so if you could just take that 1 minute to drop a subscribe, like and comment on the video, they'd be really appreciated. Here's just a couple of the awesome cars that we've had on the channel so far, and I really want to keep bringing more and more going forward, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to keep up to date with everything that's going on within this channel. So if we come over to the Golf in question, that's not a parcel holder. Here is where we're at. You can see I've got test wires in places. I've got these wires cut out. So let me tell you what's going on. So basically, to cut a long story quite short, we've got no spark. And if you didn't know how an engine runs, is you have air, you have fuel, and then from the spark plugs you get spark, and all three together, that's how your engine fires. So I can get fuel and I can get air. Air is probably the easiest things to get, but just got no spark, and I am trying to troubleshoot why I don't have any. And this is where I'm at a bit of a loss, because everything I have found is plugged in that I believe it needs to have spark, but being on that ECU and not having like a OBD plug, or I don't have any way to communicate with this car besides these two wires here. And I don't know if you remember me saying this is CAN high and CAN low, and you can talk to this ECU with a software called EasyMap 6, but I don't have the adapter, which is a CAN to USB adapter, to plug this in and read this. So I'm at a bit of a loss and I don't really know where to go next. Subsequently, because I haven't got the engine running yet, there's the old wire loom. I've been tracing wires just in case. Obviously this is from the 8-valve engine, but like the wiring loom's sort of like a mixture of both. But because I haven't got it anywhere near running, I haven't put the front end or anything on, because like all I'm thinking is, what if I need to take it out again? So that shouldn't even be in there. I've just plugged that in there for testing purposes. But so here's the wires that we have unplugged. These two, which do fuel. So if I put this one in here, where's the other one? When the key's on, when I put, I'm pretty sure this one with the white cable tie to live, you can hear the fuel rail pressure, or you hear the fuel pump priming, you can hear it pressurizing in here. This wire here, which goes to pin 17 on the ECU, which on the pin out is a programmable pin, so I will never know what this is for until I can find a way to read it through this. So that's a programmable low output pin. So this doesn't give voltage. It gives like, I think 1 or 2 volts, but this is like a signal wire for something. So that could be the reason it doesn't start. Obviously this black one here outputs 12 volts and it goes to the fuse box and it's in with the ignition system. So, but I've got nowhere to plug it. Just stabbed myself. This usually connects to here, but I was doing a test, continuity test, so I extended it so I could see where it would come from on the fuse box. So that can go ahead and be plugged straight back in there. In regards to the top of the engine, obviously we've got, let me out of the way. We've got our ECU with our ECU plug, and that's plugged in, and all these wires are fine. Okay, so that comes along here out here, and this is where this is. I've obviously cut back a bit of the protective coating so I could see where wires are coming to and from. Come up here, these two go together. These two were helpfully color coded and labeled, and that is in there. I don't know what this is. It's not labeled, there's no part numbers, and it looks a little bit weird, but the guy said that that was always there on the conversion. So obviously coming down to here, we got our fuel lines plumbed in. The blue cable tie went to the black. I've seen a photo of that. Here's our wiring loom. This follows down here, and this is for our headlights, headlight and fog light system. So you got like headlight, you got side light, you got fog light, and then the same again on this side, but there's a couple of extra because of like a horn and stuff like that. I put a brand new crankshaft sensor in. I don't know if you can see that down there behind the. No, you can't really see, but I put a brand new crankshaft sensor in just to level out that wasn't the issue. So that's that really. Found a couple of bits underneath the car, so let me put the car in the air and let's show you. So now the car's in the air, let me come under here and show you what I have found. So I replaced these two fuel lines because the ones on the floor I'd actually split. So I just replaced them, literally like a 5-10 minute job. But coming up into this wheel arch here, didn't think there was like anything left, but we've got that relatively small hole there. That'll be fine to fix. Just cut along there, along the bottom, probably up there, and that'll be fine. And then a small hole there, again, just up, across and down, and then one small hole here. That one might be a little bit harder to fix, but I'm gonna learn to weld, so I might as well just give it a pop. I mean, worst that's gonna happen is I just have to pay somebody else to do it. So I will give that a good old go. Just discovered a bit more, so maybe I have to cut like all the way along here, all the way across the top, and see what happens. But other than that, like back here, we're right, like this side has already been welded. You can see, so like that's fine. Coming along the car, so the things that we can get on with is like putting in our gear linkage. We could put our downpipe in because that's gonna have to come in as well. So like, our downpipe can go on, which I should have really put on before. But here we are, we move. And this engine mount here, I don't know if you can see it, let me point the torch to it here. I need to put a new one on because ours that are on there is broken. Can you see that? Broken. So basically, we just got some odds and sods in this video. But I've either got to find somewhere I can buy the software so I can read this car, or I don't know. I just need help. I can't figure it out. I really just need to figure this out because I'm just as desperate as you guys to drive this car. So let's right now make a list of everything I need to do before we can drive this car. Right, so I'll put something on screen here, and this is everything that we need to do to get this car running off the top of my head and driving. So engine start. So engine start. Inevitable, it needs to start. Throttle body, because I ordered the wrong one. Engine mounts. Engine mounts. So the back right engine mount is broken. The back left one needs sorting. Gear cables. Exhaust. Front wheel bearings. Tyres. I'm going to put a question mark next to the brakes, because I don't really know if they need to be done or not. Lower front arms. Trying to think of anything else that we need to do. Obviously we need to rebuild front end, and then I'm going to put on the plus mount intercooler, and then whole interior. Oh, I've typed that wrong. So that, I've put this on screen here, is my full list. So we need the engine to start, we need the throttle body, we need the gearbox, the engine and the gearbox mount to be all tightened up and good to go. We need the exhaust done, we need the gear cables mounted, we need the front wheel bearings done. All the tyres on there are old and cracked and horrible. Brakes, I think they're fine, but might just be worth doing them anyway. Front arms, I had a look at the arms the other day and they weren't in the best condition, so that's fine. Obviously we need to put the whole front end back on, sort out the lights, sort out the front bumper, everything like that. And then the interior needs to be rebuilt, so that's currently where we're at. So the throttle body, you're probably thinking, why are you putting a new one on? You literally just put one on. So here's what I put on, here's what I took off. See, there are ever so slight differences, okay? Obviously that is straight up, that's on an angle. Obviously looking at it straight, it all looks like really similar, but I'm just playing it safe and I've got one literally that is identical. All I need to do on this one is just take that out and screw that blanking plate in, and then yeah, I've just thought I'd play it safe, get one that's exactly the same, and then see if that works. So I've come across and I've taken this little plug out of here, but I can't find my tap and die set, so I'm just gonna have to leave that in for now and just like plug that there. So for the time being, this can go in my safe spot. But let's just get this on. Part numbers on this are exactly the same. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Oh, nearly. Anyway, that's 0371330064, and then on this one it is exactly the same. So I'm hoping maybe, do I think this is going to cure the starting issue? Absolutely not. But is it going to help? Potentially. So if it could help, let's give it a go. So that is a new throttle body fitted. Obviously I know that this cable's way too short. I need to order one from I think it's like a 1.6 carb, but for the time being it works. You push the pedal and this moves back. So tell you what, now we've done that, let's just eliminate that and try and start it and see what happens. Don't think it's going to work, but we can try. Nope. No, not again. I just wanted to start, I just want to drive it. Please help me if you know. If you know what's going on, please just help me. Let's have a look now at getting that back mount done. That bolt's actually not holding it in. I don't know how well you can see. It's this mount here. Why isn't this mount here on my hand? There's a bolt here. That's not actually holding anything in because, well, it's just not. I might need to get a jack underneath the car to support it and then put that new mount in. So here is that mount in question. Literally sits like that on the edge of the gearbox, goes to that mount on the subframe. But there, that loop that you're looking at now, that bit's like sheared off. So I don't know if you go see that one or that one. Either way, that bit's broken, so it needs replacing. And the guy I bought off actually sent new bolts, which is cool. But let's get that a little clean first, try and make it a little bit shinier. So I've cleared the wires out of the way. I can show you exactly where it is now. That's only wet because of this here. That's an oil pressure line. Wow, it's for the oil pressure feed to give the oil pressure dial aftermarket. So that's like not relevant anyway. But there you go, we got 113 right in front of us, and then the other two are somewhat below it. It's not the easiest of positions, but we'll get that out. I'll just get it out now. Right, I have taken a break from that bolt. Look at that. So that bolt is all the way out, but it hits the bloody engine mount. Like, the bit that is hitting as well isn't removable, so that's like really annoying. There's always something, isn't there? But let's take a minute to talk about the interior. So, what's going on with the interior? Can you see in there? Nothing. So, what I'm going to be doing is getting some soundproofing / insulation for the floors. I'm going to cut the headliner out to suit the sunroof. I need to repair this. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I need to repair that to stop it leaking. We got some awesome clocks. Obviously all that needs to go back together, but it needs to run. So we're a little bit of a loss. So I apologise for the lack of progress in this video. I'm pulling my hair out over it. I really just want to get in it and drive it. I want to see you guys like watching me drive it. I want to do that trip. And I need to get another car basically as well, just to sort of roll through the content while this is at a bit of a stalemate. Obviously the Porsche is, I've had a bit of a look into the Porsche and I don't know if it's something that we're going to be going forwards with, but it's just a cool little find. I think somebody's going to come get that off me and they're going to do it rather than me doing it. But that's what I'm going to call it for this video. We've sort of had a little bit of a chat about the Golf. We know what we need to do, we know what we don't need to do. Ultimately I've got a couple of options. I keep looking into it until I find the issue with this, either ECU or whatever it may be at its fault, or I buy a new wiring loom, a new ECU but like a Mark IV Golf one with like the immobiliser off, so on and so forth, and convert that and then run a whole new wiring loom, which would be a pain, but if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. Yeah, so that's sort of my really two options when it comes to getting it running, because I've checked everything. I've checked almost every single wire on this loom. Obviously I haven't stripped it fully back, but in the places where I feel like I need to obviously bring the wiring loom back, I've brought it back. So I am really at a loss here. If you have any suggestions or you're knowledgeable with the Q-Peng / MBE ECUs, please let me know. I've spoken to a couple of people. I've spoken to SPD Motorsport and they told me about the can high, can low, but I just haven't got that equipment. That equipment is quite pricey. But the other thing I've got to weigh up is that equipment's quite pricey, and for the cost of that equipment I could buy a loom and convert it again. So, and then what would be better, this old ECU or a new one, slightly newer ECU that's, you know, will have OBD2, so it's like more capable when it comes to diagnostics. You see my predicament. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you next time. And I promise the next one will be a bit more exciting, whether that be interior, exterior, anything. We will get a little bit more done next time, I swear. But for now, I will catch you on the next video.